Hey everybody. So it's the first video, and about an hour ago I put up on my Insta and Facebook story to DM me any questions or curiosities that you may have about our infertility journey and treatment and what we went through and things like that. I opted this way because our story, if I told the whole story, it would be like super, super long, like very long. So, which I don't mind telling the story at all, but I mean, I feel like this is like a better way instead of you guys watching like a 2 hour Facebook video or something like that. I mean, if that is something that people are interested in, I'll do it. But for now, I mean, if you want like the extra details and behind the scenes or whatever, but for now, I'll do it this way. So, like I said, I put it up about an hour ago, and already within the hour, I received 10 questions already. So I figured I'll do the first video, and I'm going to answer 3 out of the 10 questions right now, because they correlate with each other, so they go hand in hand. So the first question, and I'm gonna dive right in here. This will be a short video. Just kind of thinking like what I can name this. Maybe FTJ answers, fertility treatment journey answers, or something like that. Anyway, I'll come up with a name. But I will get to all of the questions, and so just keep checking back to see if your question gets answered. And so I'll start. So question 1, did it hurt? Question 2, what was the scariest part? And question 3, did you do IVF or IUI? So to answer these 3 questions, because they correlate with each other, we did IUI. So that's intrauterine insemination. So that's when they place the catheter to your cervix and place the sperm right through. So that way the sperm doesn't have to do a long journey to get to where it needs to go. IVF is in vitro fertilization. That is when they take your eggs out, they fertilize your egg, and then they implant it back. So we did IUI. Did it hurt? So it didn't hurt. So the catheter, it feels uncomfortable. I don't know how many of you have had a catheter before, but it feels a little uncomfortable. It's just kind of like it's not supposed to be there, so it just feels uncomfortable. I guess you can kind of compare it to a gynecological visit. I would probably say the gynecological visit is a little bit more uncomfortable than actually the catheter is. So that didn't hurt. But what did hurt is what the scariest part of the treatment was for me. So the scariest part for me was actually having to give myself injections. I am not great with needles. I cannot see my own blood. It's crazy. I look away when I get shots. I look away when I'm getting my blood drawn. I'm not like, I don't freak out physically and go crazy or anything, but I do kind of freak out on the inside. So what we did was, well, what the plan was, I should say, what the plan was that my wife was going to give me the injections, which the injections go in your belly. Well, for our treatment, the injections went into my belly. So my wife was going to do the injection because, like I said, not great with needles. So we are all prepped. We're set. We're ready. We watch the video. We have our supplies ready. We have everything set step by step. Now comes the time for the actual injection. And my wife's hand is shaking. She's like shaking, holding the needle. And that was so scary for me, other than it just being the fact that I have to get a needle in my house, in my bathroom. It was scary for me because for my wife to be afraid, because she's very like, that's it. That's my wife. She's like, she's really like strong. She's strong. She's the strong, quiet, silent type, you know. So to see her hand shake, I was just like, oh my gosh, she's scared. That made me so scared. It made me so scared. But with her hand shaking and everything, like I just what took over me was the fact that I wanted her to be okay. I was more worried about, at that point I was more worried about her fear than I was about mine, and I was more worried about how she was feeling than I was about actually having to get the injection. So that kind of like shifted my brain a little bit, and kind of was, I was kind of able to get myself in a position where I gave myself the injection. I gave myself a shot more than once. So that the first time it did sting. It kind of hurt. I will be truthful. It kind of hurt. And always after your injection site hurts, you know, when you get a shot in your arm, your butt, your thigh, whatever the case may be, that area always hurts. So the area did hurt after the injection. So that was the scariest part for me. And that part was painful, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't as bad as I built it up in my head. In my head, it was going to be the worst thing ever in life. But let me tell you something. When you want to have a baby as badly as I wanted to have a baby, you will give yourself an injection wherever you need to give yourself an injection. And that's exactly what I did. You know, I just had to do what I had to do to get it done. Because after you get the injection to yourself, about 2 days later, depending on your treatment, because this injection is to make you ovulate and to know when you're going to ovulate, and you shortly after that you go and you get the insemination. So this was like I did the Clomid, I did the medication, I waited, got the period, I did everything that I needed to do. That was really just like the second to last step. So I pushed through and I did it. I did it, and I was really proud of myself. And you know, I don't know, I was just super proud of myself, and it was cool, scary, a little painful, but really cool. Um, so yeah, thank you guys for sending in your questions already. I mean, that was pretty awesome to see that I already had 10 questions and I had just posted an hour ago. So I see people are still interested, people want to know, and I'm really all about, you know, talking about it, all about explaining our journey, all about talking about the ups and downs, because I'm really wanting to be an advocate for, you know, for fertility and infertility and the treatments and the cost and things like that. The more we talk about it, the more real it is to the people who it needs to be real for, so that we can get what we need to battle this disease, because it's a disease. No one chooses infertility, and no one chooses to have to go through fertility treatments. So again, thank you so much for your questions. Keep them coming. I will answer the rest of these questions. So keep checking back. If I haven't already answered your question, keep checking back. And thank you. And if you have any more questions, just keep them coming. And I know I already said that, but it's my first time really like making a YouTube video, or a, you know, a video about pretty much like anything really. So I'm just like kind of nervous, but it was pretty cool. And so let me know what you guys think. All right. So good night. Thank you.